get things done and solve problems. So I've also been talking about the values that not only I learned alongside of volunteers, but I have some family values that I bring with me as well. Many of you all have said that you knew my parents, or some of you even have known my grandparents, but I have grandparents that are from Perry, Georgia. We still have a farm there that my grandfather started. He was the mayor of Perry. And I have a grandmother who was a teacher, taught me about living out my faith by trying to make a difference in the world. And I have very hardworking parents. Actually, my dad is representing me in a campaign event tonight. And I have learned every single day, and relearned every single day on the campaign trail that public service makes a huge difference. I've learned that from him. Because people will come up to me and say, your dad did something for me that really made a difference. I got a loan from an SBA program or a conservation program that your dad started for farmers. Or, I'm just grateful to him for what he did for our military bases. My dad and I have been to 7 of the 9 Georgia military bases in the last 2 weeks, military base communities, and I cannot tell you how many people said, this base wouldn't even be here actually without your father's leadership and support. So we know that who we send to Washington matters, and it can make a huge difference. We know we can create a tipping point. I've been quoting Bob Gates, who is you all know, is the Secretary of Defense under President Bush and then President Obama. And he was asked recently, what's the greatest national security threat? What's the greatest threat to our nation? And he didn't say Iran, he didn't say North Korea. He says the dysfunction in Washington is sapping our confidence and our capacity as a nation. So I know that we can do better, and you all know that we can do better. We can send people to Washington that are actually going to address the issues that matter to people. I've been talking about jobs and opportunity. You don't need a reminder when you pick up the paper and you learn that your state is 50th in terms of unemployment rate. So we have to make sure that we're making the right kinds of investments in infrastructure, alleviating the regulatory burden so that small businesses can actually thrive and succeed, and doing common sense things like reforming our tax code so that we reduce what is the highest corporate tax rate in the world to incent investment right here in our own country. And we can also pass comprehensive immigration reform as a part of, again, getting our economy growing again and reducing our deficit. I've also been talking to people about fiscal stewardship. I talked to some of you all earlier. I said, what are the issues that are most important? And at least a handful of you said, making sure that we're tackling our long-term debt, making sure that we are preserving the Social Security and Medicare programs, not only for our grandparents, but also for our grandchildren. And then speaking of children, I have a 9 and 11-year-old, and I've been talking a lot about making sure that we're investing in education, making sure that we are providing for all of our kids the same opportunities that we want for our own kids. My kids started school today, first day of school, and they went, they had butterflies, that kind of good butterfly feeling, when you're doing something new and exciting. And we want every child in Georgia to look forward to going to school, to be nurtured in their unique gifts and talents. I think we need to make sure we're investing in early childhood education where we know that we can make a significant difference. We know that 80% of our brains are developed by age 5. Eli, how old are you? 6. So 80% of Eli's brain is already developed. So we need to make sure that we're making the right investments early on, and then also making sure that we're making college affordable, or technical or community college. So those are, some of the things that I've been talking to Georgians about. We've been getting a great response because I think people recognize that they're really ready for something different. And we now are in the heat of the general election. So I have now also a candidate that I'm opposing, which is David Perdue. And I think David Perdue and I have very different records in terms of our aspirations, in terms of our values, in terms of our experiences. And you can see some of those differences just in what he's been saying and what I've been saying. One of the first things he said when he won the nomination was, I'm going to make this election all about prosecuting President Obama and his administration. And I looked at that and I thought, what? That's actually not what this election is about. This election is about the aspirations and hopes and vision of Georgians and what we can do to lift up Georgians. It's also true, I think, that we have a lot of people that are already prosecuting each other in Washington. We don't need any more partisan bickering and fighting and finger pointing. We need ultimately that's what this election is going to be about. Are we going to send someone to Washington that's going to perpetuate that dysfunction, who's going to be for government shutdown, against the bipartisan farm bill, against Common Core, against comprehensive immigration reform that's been really framed and put together in a bipartisan way. And so we have a big opportunity. We also have an opportunity to make history. We would be electing our first woman senator. And also, by the way, we have not a single member of our congressional delegation that's a woman, and none of our statewide office holders are women. So lots of opportunity for change in this election. And I do believe that despite the fact that there's going to be millions of dollars poured into this election, and already folks with $1 million checks are sending that to Georgia, not from Georgia, by the way, but running negative advertising against me. But this election is ultimately going to be decided by the folks in Georgia, and by the inspiration and capacity to make a difference that they have in an election. And so